think it's hard to overstate how proud I am of Steph. She's the most hardworking and determined person I know. From a very young age, no, Steph knew that she wanted to be a doctor. Take it out. Okay. Okay. So from a very young age, Steph knew she wanted to be a doctor, and she held on to that dream with all of her might, and she's worked relentlessly to get there for the last 35 years, which is kind of crazy. I mean, it's been 35 years. It's not something that came easy to her. She really worked her butt off for it. She actually stayed with us quite a bit when she was in med school. So I personally have seen the sleepless nights, the countless hours of studying, and all of the sacrifice that it took to get there. I remember seeing her fall asleep on her couch with her book, on her lap while our little dog was curled up next to her. And I would wake her over and over and over again. And she would just say, "I'm not sleeping, I'm awake," which is definitely something she gets from our mom, but she actually would get up and then actually continue to study, which is pretty insane. But beyond all of her hard work and dedication, I think the thing that Stephanie has, the quality that she has, that sets her apart from most doctors and people, honestly, is her empathy. So it shines through in everything that she does, like how she touches her patients. It's what makes her an exceptional doctor and also an incredible aunt, sister, and friend. And it's one of the many reasons I know she and Eric will have an amazing life together. Speaking of Eric, I couldn't be happier that he and Steph found each other. So they're a perfect match. I mean, Eric can cook, which, Steph is not the best at, so he'll keep her fed, which is good. And although Steph is pretty fiercely independent, I can see all of the little things that Eric does to take care of her, which makes me, gives me a lot of comfort. She works so hard to take care of others, and I'm glad she has Eric to take care of her now. Of course, Eric says this is all part of his master plan, and he's going to retire and have her take care of him eventually. That's also fine. But you can really see how much Eric really cares about Steph. He's kind, and he can also put up with our family, which is kind of a big deal. So Jim and Fred can help you continue to figure out how to navigate the Gopals. But I know we all have so much love for Stephanie and Eric, so let's raise our glasses to them. Steph and Eric, may your lives be filled with joy, laughter, and love. I can't wait to see what the future brings for the two of you. I love you guys. To Steph and Eric.
Let's give our maid of honor a nice round of applause, everyone. And now we'll be turning the microphone over to our best man. Let's hear it for Harry one more time, everyone.
Hello, everyone. My name is Harry Wu, and I am Eric's best man. I'd first like to just take a moment to thank Steph and Eric's families for making this day possible. Everyone that has gathered here to celebrate Steph and Eric's love is due in large part to the love and support that they provided these two incredible people, so thank you. I've known Eric since elementary school, but it was our summers spent hanging out in Speedos, breaking records on our rec swim team where we first forged our friendship. Tanned and hair fried from sun and chlorine, the Wu-Tang Clan ate countless cups of instant noodles like they were an ancestral food group and played Game Boy with more focus than Eric did studying for step one. And it was there that I discovered the quiet storm that is Eric Tang. Despite being a head shorter than his competition, Eric possessed a preternatural drive to outwork anyone to be the best. While other kids were crying on the side of the pool, dreading to attempt a single lap without a breath, Eric would swim 3 laps without a breath, pushing himself for a 4th. When other kids were putting on their goggles to race, Eric would step up to the blocks, goggleless, happy to embrace the sting of chlorine in his eyes. And when Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire came out and kids were rushing to finish the book to avoid spoilers, Eric read the entire book in a single night, and the following day, just before a race, ruined the ending for a rival relay. crushing their will to compete. When Eric hasn't been mentally and physically dominating any challenge in his path, be it swimming, school, residency, or COVID-19, he has been the most reliable and caring friend you could ask for. A number of years ago, I found myself in a bit of a pickle at work in the ICU. I was up to my elbows in poop, cleaning a rectal appliance that exploded in my patient's room. And in the course of contorting my body to clean this Jackson Pollock room, my watch accidentally called 911 and my 3 emergency contacts. Now, was it my mother who was the first to call to check in on her firstborn son? No. Was it my then girlfriend, now wife, and mother of my children who was checking to see if I was alive? Also no. When I finished speaking with the dispatcher, I found I had a text from Eric and he was already calling to make sure I was all right. And after learning I was relatively okay, he spoke to my wife, Brooke, to let her know I was safe, then just told her to make sure I showered thoroughly when I got home. Well, it wasn't a true emergency, and I definitely could have used an extra hand from a grizzled emergency doc. Eric has always been there for me, the people he cares about, and the community he serves at Kings County responding to actual emergencies. I first learned about Steph in the most Tang way possible. A succinct text that read, "I asked out one of the interns." I responded with matching brevity, "Oh boy." A little unsure of how this intradepartmental courtship might pan out both personally and professionally. But he sent the text unprompted, so I knew it was serious. And of course, it was the best decision he's ever made. Steph, you are absolutely radiant, not only today, but every time we've had the chance to hang out. Whether it was double dates for hot pot or margaritas at Park Life, your warmth, empathy, gregariousness, and intelligence no doubt make you a great physician, but also the perfect complement to my reserved but deeply caring best friend. At the same time, you totally outclass him. Steph, when I found out that my old hospital fell to #2 in New York after something like 20 consecutive years at #1, I initially had assumed it was due to my recent departure, which is ridiculous, of course. No, the real reason was that 3 weeks before the announcement of the hospital rankings, Steph had started her fellowship at NYU, which finally gave them the boost they needed for the top spot in New York. Second, Steph and Eric, I'm so happy you found each other. Steph, Eric has been the hardest working and most reliable friend to me, and I have no doubt that he will be that and more as a husband to you. If everyone would please raise a glass. To Steph and Eric, here's to a lifetime of joy and happiness. May your burdens be light, and if they're not, may your backs stay strong and your love unwavering. Cheers.
One more time, let's hear it for our best man, everyone.